All right. Men claim to be a lot of things. Men claim to be macho. Men claim to be superior in physical strength and superior in a lot of many facets. But most often, we get outbeaten by women on almost all fronts. And what we understand is that not only are they equally good at most things as men, but they are significantly good at one specific task, and that is to stack multiple tasks at the same time, known as multitasking. This is something that you would quickly understand if you observe, if everybody just observes their own mothers. How many things has your mother taken care of simultaneously in your life? Just pause to think about it. In my case, my mother took care of her career as a teacher. She took care of the household chores. She took care of most of my dad's entrepreneurial assistance when he was running a business. She took care of my sister. At the same time, she took care of a lot of tasks that probably my dad couldn't do, like doing the groceries, a lot of things at the same time. But not even once did I see that she complained or she had any issues with it. But I'll give you an instance where my dad, when I was small, had to switch roles and do the same. He forgot he forgot to, on one day he forgot to actually pick me up from school. He actually did forget to pick me up from school. He forgot. It was totally chaotic for a week when my mother actually fell ill. And I see this now that I'm married. I see the same traits in my wife as well. I don't know, probably there is some reason to it, but I don't know. But I really understand that women are terrific multitaskers. Kudos to them for that. And probably as men, we don't need to emulate them. We just need to accept the fact and embrace the fact that women are significantly better and embrace them for who they are. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anto. That was a very apt justification, I'll say. Uh, Moving on, so next we have Toastmaster Vaishnavi. And Vaishnavi, your topic for today would be mall shopping versus street shopping versus online shopping. So mall shopping versus street shopping versus online shopping, Toastmaster Vaishnavi.
I am someone who really loves to shop. And along with that, I'm not someone who would spend so much of my father's money. My parents are very lucky because they don't get to complain that my daughter spends a lot of money. That is because I do a lot of street shopping. My favorite activity on a weekend is not visiting malls, watching movies, having popcorn like a typical teenager. I would rather go to a place like Charminar in Hyderabad. I will do so much of street shopping. I will buy clothes, I'll buy shoes and so many earrings. Earrings are my favorite. I buy all these things and then I just stay there and have street food and come back. Yeah, shopping in malls is nice, but whenever I see something, a kurti, a simple kurti is like 1500 or 2000, and then I'll be like, if I buy a cloth, give it to a tailor, all this would be done in half of the rate. So I don't usually shop in malls. Yeah, I go to watch films. Street shopping is the best. And whenever I think of street shopping, the first thing that comes to my mind is Delhi. Delhi, whenever I go to there is a market called Sarojini Nagar, if you're familiar. So whenever I go to Sarojini Nagar, it is like a jackpot for me. I have to spend so much little and I get so much stuff. And when I carry all those bags and come home, my dad is like, "How much did you spend?" I'm like, "Nothing, nothing. Just check your phone." He's like, "Only this much?" Like, yeah, this many things I bought. So and then I have this thing after a street shopping, I would definitely go and have street food like Delhi chole bhature is something I would definitely eat. After that, online shopping, I'm telling you, I just started it because of COVID, but it's not something I really enjoy. I can't touch the material of the cloth. I can't wear it. What if the size is not right? And like I bought a kurti once and I could smell it. There was perfume. That means somebody already brought it. They used it. They returned it, and I got that thing. So I also returned it. Online shopping is the last thing. Mall shopping is the last second thing, and street shopping is definitely my thing. So with this, thank you so much, and over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. I couldn't agree more on that. And I can definitely relate to Sarojini Nagar in Delhi thing. Though I don't go and shop over there, my wife does, but I can see the excitement in her face when she goes there. So yeah, thank you for that. Moving on, we have Toastmaster Abdul. So Toastmaster Abdul, your topic is work from home in favor or against? Work from home in favor or against, Toastmaster Abdul?
Good evening, everyone. Work from home or
Work from
office?
home, yeah, work from home or other ways of working, like outside of home.
I would definitely recommend working from home. Because of the COVID, this is a blessing in disguise for all of us, I believe. Today, I have been attending some business meeting, even though it's a Sunday. And at the same time, I did attend one Toastmasters meeting in the morning. Now I'm back after my business meeting at 7 o'clock at my home attending this meeting. And in the meantime, I also spent some time attending to some visitors at home. I spent some time with my wife and daughter, and it gives me a lot of flexibility that I can perform my business activities and I can as well at the same time take care of my family. So, this COVID has given this opportunity to interact with so many people. This meeting, what we are having right now, I can see people from the US, I can see people from South India in Kerala, I can see people from different parts of India and the world. So this is something, otherwise, if COVID wouldn't have been there, we would go in for an offline meeting and we would have a group of people, small group of people, and then we'll be interacting only with them. So work from home gives an opportunity for all of us to communicate, to network with each other, share our experiences in a very, very nice manner. So I would strongly say that I am for work from home. Thank you. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul. So I can definitely say work from home is teaching men to become a multitasker. Okay, so moving ahead, we have next speaker, Toastmaster Suvi. So Toastmaster Suvi, your topic is single people are happiest of all. Toastmaster Suvi, single people are happiest of all.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What a fantastic topic you have given, Toastmaster, this evening. You made my day and asked me why. I am single and I have no regrets or repents till date of not getting hitched or tying into this nuptial knots, quote unquote. If you have a purpose, if you have your objects and goals laid before you, then I think it becomes a perennial bliss of being single. And that's exactly I'm living up to. I'm living up to a beautiful quote said by Steve Jobs. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living on someone else's life. But having said that, are you able to live up to that noble cause which you have laid before you? I am trying to live up to all the professional and personal endeavors which I have made in this life. I'm trying to reach out to each and every rural women artisans and girl child of my state, help them become financially stable and independent, to educate, to enrich, to emancipate their journey, and to come out from the domestic violence which they have always been suppressed up to. It's not only the men which have the liberty to live up to the dignity and respect, but also the women of our country. We have to break the social taboo and shackle of so-called a patriarchal society. And that's exactly my startup is doing. Even though a cliche one, but I'm trying to position it that we are adhering to United Nations Sustainable Development Goal and to bridge up to the inequity of what's known as wages. I hope I can live it to each and every individual's life here. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Survi, for that beautiful. So the roadmap and the goal which you have, that's definitely encouraging. So hope we also can give our contribution to that. Just let us know. We, in whatever ways we can help, we will try to help you on that. Moving ahead, so the next speaker we have is Toastmaster Suresh. Toastmaster Suresh, your topic is vacation in India versus abroad. Vacation in India versus abroad.
Thank you, Saurabh, for giving me this topic. I definitely go for vacation for abroad because I have to see the plenty of the world because not yet go outside the world. I roamed around India, but I had to see the world. We have the plenty of places, particularly in Europe, America, and where we can go to the famous places like Niagara and that Amazon. These I've always wondered and found of this forests around the world because in India we often we overcrowded in India the population in the streets. When we go to the western side, we often see very few people in the grounds, and we can see the plenty of greenery over there, and there will be a chance to look after the so much of greenery around the world that definitely gives an immense pleasure to me. And also the famous wonders, 8 wonders. I already seen the Taj Mahal in India, but I have to see rest of the monuments throughout the world. So definitely one day I would love to travel the world and wanted to see the each and every monument, how they built, how the history has gone. Because since childhood, I'm reading in the books. I never went out of the India. So I definitely wanted to go to the world. I want to see, roam around the world, and I want to have few moments in my life. What do you, Tabletop Master? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh. I hope this Corona situation gets over soon and you'll get a chance to have a vacation abroad. So moving ahead, next speaker is Toastmaster Milind, Mr. Eligible Bachelor, if I may say. So Toastmaster Milind, your topic for today is...
I am not bachelor.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
No, but I like that. It's okay.
Okay. So your topic is arranged marriage versus love marriage. Let's see what you have to say.
Oh my God. I will bring a twist into it. Okay. Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Saurabh. My dear fellow Toastmasters and the guests here. Love marriage versus arranged marriage? You asked me. I had one-sided and 50-50 of both of them. I was in love with my wife and my wife didn't have any attraction towards me. She was all away from it. And everybody in my college class knew that I am in love with her. But I was afraid to say anything to her. And even she knew it. At the end, when our meeting was set with our parents, that time she told me, I knew it. And I was shocked. Then why didn't you process that thing? And she said, you should have come forward now. I don't, I find it very difficult. Why girls always want boys to come forward first? But anyways, luckily, I was married to the love of my life. I don't know about her, whether she was lucky enough to marry to her love of life or not. But she tells me, okay, I love you. Okay. So that was my story. So I don't know whether I'm against arranged marriage or I'm against love marriage. The time will tell. For another 10 years will when pass out, then I will be able to give a better answer to that, whether I'm in with what position I am currently and what position I will be in future. So that time I will be able to support which one to which. But as of now, I will say I would in support of love marriage. Go ahead, find your love, get married to them, and then the life starts. Then only the life starts, I would say. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Milan. It was glad to know that you have got the love of your life. Many wise men, they haven't found this answer whether love marriage is better or arranged marriage is better. So let's wait for the time and see what is the right thing. Moving ahead, we have next speaker, Toastmaster Puneet. Toastmaster Puneet, your topic is dress codes anywhere, like in schools, colleges, restaurants, hotels, offices. So dress code is good or bad?
Can you repeat?
Dress code in hotels, restaurants, schools, colleges, offices is good or bad?
There's a drastic difference between what is shown in real life, which is movies, and what exists in the real life. Hello, everyone. Have you ever observed the word uniform? What does it talks about? Uniformity. Irrespective of caste, gender, social status, the purpose itself stands for uniformity. And with regards to your question, I sincerely believe dress code is a must. Because of course, when you're part of a school, you are habituated to uniform. But even when I entered into a college wherein I did my BTech mechanical engineering degree, I had to wear my uniform. And believe it or not, many of my friends felt, we are in college right now, why should we wear uniform? It's only at the end of fourth year we realized that how prestigious that uniform was. I still have that uniform with me because that uniform signifies sweat, blood, tears of completing engineering. And believe it or not, engineering is one of the most toughest examination. Of course, there are people who will debate it CA as well. I haven't done CA, so I cannot comment on it. But I strongly believe engineering gets the best out of a person mentally, spiritually, physically, you name it. And believe it or not, that uniform signifies blood, sweat, tears of being the best version of yourself. In fact, even when I joined Mahindra, which was my first organization and the only organization which I worked for, we had to follow dress code. Because if you don't follow dress code, chances are people will come wearing gym shorts, that too in a professional environment, and which is something which is not recommended. And believe it or not, every time I went into a factory, when I visited plants like Nasik, Mumbai, all these various plants of Mahindra, when I have that uniform with Mahindra pride badge on it, I feel I'm part of a family. So friends, uniform and dress code are mandatory because it shows uniformity, it shows the power of belonging, it shows the sense of belonging somewhere where you are truly valued. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet, for that beautiful explanation. Yes, the dress code gives you a sense of pride. It gives you a sense of belongings. That's why we have dress code in armies. We have it in defense. So I couldn't agree more on your explanation. Moving ahead, next speaker we have Toastmaster Ashraf. Toastmaster Ashraf, your topic is city life versus rural life. City life versus rural life.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity here. I have joined here as a guest, and this is my first session with this group of wonderful people, wherein every one of us are striving to come better at what we are lacking, or someone who has already achieved, they are still thriving to become the excellent, right? So somebody says that learning doesn't stop anywhere, right? It's a journey rather. And coming back to the topic, the rural life versus the city life, and I don't know, looks like this topic is very much chosen for me by Saurabh, because the time that I'm spending in Kerala, and rightfully I'm enjoying my time out in Kerala, thanks to pandemic, right? So people might think, why thanks to pandemic, right? So if I take my last 12 years of married life, hardly I spent time in Kerala. I was working in Bangalore for like 8 to 10 years, and then I moved to Hyderabad like for the last 2 years, and I did not spend much time in Hyderabad for like in last 2 years. Maybe I spent just couple months, and then got an opportunity to back to Kerala. So the point that I'm trying to bring in here is that in the last 12 years of my married life, I haven't spent this much time in Kerala. And this 1 year, or like this 10 months, I see it as a blessing in disguise for me, right? So I took my cycle and I travel around. I find nice places, and nothing beat this rural life experience that we can. But again, sometimes it is a sluggish thing in rural, but in city, wherein it's a hustle bustle, right? So again, it's not great stuff to be in city, and it is not always great to be in rural. It has to be a strike of balance between both of them. And I feel that whatever the time that I spent in the last 1 year in Kerala, it's really a wonderful thing, a wonderful experience, a lifetime experience in my life. And I don't have one answer, and it's a balance out thing. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashraf. Kerala is definitely in one of my places to visit either this year or next year. So I'll come and connect with you. You can show me some rural life over there.
Absolutely.
Moving ahead, next we have Toastmaster Nigel. So Toastmaster Nigel, the topic for you would be an own house versus a rented house.
Could you repeat that, Toastmaster Saurabh?
An own house versus a rented house.
Okay. Have you ever walked into a room, looked around, and said, wow, I want to be here. I want to live here. And then you start talking to the broker. You start talking to the owner of the house. And you start negotiating and trying to figure out what is the price of living in such a beautiful place. And that's when there are two things that happen in life. One is your heart breaks, and the second is your heart breaks. Because most of the times, whenever we walk into a room and we see a place or a house that we are fascinated by, we find that these places are often very expensive. So we then start going and searching for new places that fit our budget. But what happens in a rented concept is that we get the opportunity of tasting the best of life at a much lower premium. And that is why Table Topic Master, every single time I would choose to go in for a rented place versus a full fixed buy. And not just for place, even your vehicles, even the things that you buy, even the things that you purchase. If you can, the possibility of going for a rented model instead of a full purchase model reduces the impact that it has on your wallet, at the same time giving you the best of life that life has to offer. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nigel, for your opinion. We'll definitely think about it before buying something next time. So moving ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, Saurabh. The timer Toastmaster Dhananjay, can you please let me know, are there any disqualifications based on time till now?
No disqualifications till now. Everybody is
Okay. So we'll do one thing. So there are 2 nominations. We'll go with 1 for this round and then 1 for the second round. So
Hello, can I go? Can I do the volunteer?
No, we have a certain nomination already ready for this round. So
Okay.
for the next round, when we do, there we go. So so you can go with the Pratima now. Who is the another line? Umesh?
Yeah, so Satish and Pratima are left, and we have one more nomination from DTM Ajay.
Yeah, but then we will take for them for the next round. So you can take one now.
Okay.
So you can keep Satish for the next round with Ajay and others. So right now you can go with Pratima.
Okay, sure. Sure, I was just thinking for a topic for Toastmaster Pratima. Okay, so Toastmaster Pratima, your topic would be ghost, they exist or they don't exist. Ghost, they exist or they don't exist.
Back in the day, when I was in my childhood, my mother used to scare, saying there are ghosts under your bed. And that used to work very well for most of the instances. Let's say, I don't know, I am creepy, I am saying, no, I'm choosy, I don't want to eat this. Solution? There's ghost under bed. You want to eat? Yes. I don't want to wear this dress. I want another color. I don't want to go to school. Solution? This bed under ghost. This went on for many years. That was till I was 5 or 6 years. Then I started taking a flashlight, searched under a bed, and found there's no ghost. I asked my mother why she used to scare me like this. Then she eventually told me that's the way she had to get me do the things that are good for me. But in introspection, I always think whenever I think about if there are ghosts or there are not, from a serious standpoint, I always think we don't know because there's no proof. And being a logical person, you don't feel like thinking that there are ghosts. But I'm sure of one thing. We do have ghosts in ourselves. That is the darker side of ourselves. So there might be people who will be saying, if God is there, then ghosts are also there. Let's not get into there. But definitely watch out for the ghost in you and always be towards your brighter side, not the darker side. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratima. I use that trick even today with my 4-year kid, and fortunately, it is working so far. Let's see what happens in the future. And I definitely like that idea of darker side in you. So we should definitely try to watch that and work upon that. So Raghu, we can go for voting now, and we can
just for the benefit of the people who are joined in between. This round, the 10 people, the voting will be there. You need to vote, and 5 people will go to the next round. So please take time to vote each and every person in the room. Dhananjay, if you have any preferences, you can send vote to me.
Looks like you can only do one person at a time.
Yeah, 1%. So based upon the votes, they will vote to the text. Okay. There are 5 more people who need to vote. Can you please take some time? There's a tie between a couple of people, so I need few more votes to break the tie and move on. Okay. Okay, thank you. I close the poll. We have Anto, Surbi, Milind. Saurabh, can you note down these names?
Yes, Raghu, I'm doing that.
Yeah, Anto, Surbi, Milind, Puneet.
Okay.
Other will be Vaishnavi. These 5 people will go to the next round.
Sure. Raghu, what about the members who want to join now? How will we do that?
We'll keep in the next round. We'll limit it to 4 people in the next round. We can add it there. But right now, we'll complete this.
Okay. Shall we move ahead then?
Yes, good to start.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you everyone for that wonderful participation in the first round. And thank you for everyone who voted as well. So let's move to the next round of our impromptu league, which is all about imagination. But before that, I would request you to please use word of the day and idiom of the day that will add weightage to your speech, and that will help you to gain more vote. So please do that. So starting with the second round, the first speaker, I'll go in the reverse order this time. Let's select Toastmaster Vaishnavi this time. So Toastmaster Vaishnavi, your topic would be, let's say you are a big celebrity. You visited a remote town in India. You asked someone, do you know me? And he or she said no. What will run through your mind? So I'll repeat it once again. You are a big celebrity. You have visited a remote town in India. You asked someone there, do you know me? And he or she said no. What will run through your mind?
If I were a big celebrity, maybe a film star, and if I visit a small village, ask a kid or someone that if you know me, and if they say no, the first thing is my heart will sink and I'm like, I am famous all over the place. Why don't they know me? Then I will also have a thought that the lifestyle of villagers is a bit sluggish. They are behind everything. So you might not, they might not have exposure to films or media. There are people who don't have television. So I won't mind much, but yeah, that might build a zeal in me to work more hard, or I will ask my PR team to do more publicity, if I have money, I would set up theater over there, or I would tell them, maybe if I have my laptop with me when I go there, I would show them a few of my works, and I would connect with all the people, and yeah, these are some things I would do. Maybe I will not feel bad, but in the first moment when I get to know, acha, they don't know me. Recent thing happened when Anupam Kher, he went on a hill station and then he asked someone, "Do you know me?" Then that man said, "No, I don't know you." Then Anupam Kher actually made an Instagram post that despite acting in these many films, they still don't know me. So people don't know Anupam Kher, what am I? Yeah, this would be my reaction. I would just let them know who am I. Thank you so much, and over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. I think we need to show a little bit of empathy over there. Yes, we are big celebrity, but it might not be possible that everyone knows us. So yeah, we should definitely try to make them. We should use ways to introduce us to them, and definitely next time you'll have little more fan base. Moving ahead, so next speaker we have Toastmaster Puneet. So Toastmaster Puneet, your topic would be, imagine yourself as Satya Nadella and you are going to be announced as the CEO of Microsoft. So you are walking to the podium. What thoughts or what words or what speech will you give to the employees of Microsoft and to the world? To you, Toastmaster Puneet.
A leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way, said John Maxwell. Hello, fellow Microsoft colleagues. It's an honor for me to be the CEO of this beautiful organization. I've been given this responsibility, of course, not just to, to provide value to our shareholders, but also to elevate well-being of each and every one of us. Now, the first quote which I said, a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. We at Microsoft have done and revolutionized the personal computer revolution. We have made desktop accessible to each and every one, and we have created a difference in the lives of people. Now, should we stop there? Absolutely not. And that's why it's an honor that I have been given the opportunity. So what is that one thing which I would like to do? Number one, change the culture of our organization. If you look at our performance, no doubt we have done really well in the past, but what got us here will not get us where we want to go. So the number one thing which I want to do as a CEO is to transform the culture of our organization. Being more specific, to be empathetic and provide the value in terms of humanity. I sincerely believe that the Microsoft where I grown up lacked little empathy, and no wonder you can see Bill Gates scandal. Of course, it's in private. I will never reveal it to it in the media. But still, there was a culture of bullism. But here I want to create a culture of transparency, honesty, integrity, respect, service, and excellence, which I have borrowed from Toastmasters. Anyways, this is the one thing which I would do to transform our Microsoft. And that shareholder value, which the share stock which you see, will just be a little reflection of the kind of transformation which we have drove. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet. I wish you all the best to become the next CEO of Microsoft. We'll also have a strong connection in that case. Okay, so moving ahead, so the next speaker is Toastmaster Survi. Toastmaster Survi, your speech, your title is, imagine you met your dream VC in the lift. Imagine you met your dream VC in the lift. What kind of conversation will you?
Saurabh, 1 minute. I don't see her in the room.
Okay.
Go ahead with the next person.
Okay. So the next speaker is Toastmaster Anto. Toastmaster Anto, I will change the topic for you. So your topic is, imagine you have been selected as the entrepreneur of the year. Imagine you have been selected as the entrepreneur of the year and you have been invited to speak few words. So what would those words be? Toastmaster Anto.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmasters, entrepreneurs, and everybody gathered here in this fraternity for bestowing me with this gracious award. I'm humble yet honored. There's no way to put this. Entrepreneurship, an award in entrepreneurship is something that probably gives me a lot of happiness, since we've come a long way in our entrepreneurship journey in my startup. But what I really understand is that entrepreneurship is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a journey because you have ups and downs, you have highs and lows. Yes, this award is definitely a high for me at this point and for my team, but definitely this is not the definitive point in this journey. There is definitely more to come. I would take this award and this opportunity to speak to recognize all the team members who contributed, because in the life of an entrepreneur, yes, we get most of the credit while we win and succeed, but often there's a huge team behind us that is struggling and toiling and going the extra miles to make something great again. My startup is focused on helping humanity live a better life. It's about trying to be a better person, improving their wellness and things on that front. And this award has given me faith in not just, let's say, the fraternity, but the fact that yes, this is a valid idea. Yes, our team is working towards something meritorious. And yes, the journey is just begun and we've got to keep moving forward. So thank you so much for this award. And all I want to say at this point is that entrepreneurship is the window, or let's say the gate towards opening opportunities, not just for entrepreneurs alone, but for the rest of humanity as well. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anto, for those inspiring words. I definitely wish you get the Entrepreneur of the Year award, either this year, next year. And you should remember me that time. Okay, so that is the end of round 2. But Raghu, should we take up more nomination right now? Or
Hang on.
like,
So shouldn't we have another speaker?
So we had 5 out of 5. Surbi is dropped off.
And
so yeah, so all 4 are done.
No, who are 4? I heard Vaishnavi, Puneet, Anto, and
Milind.
No, Milind is not done. No? In second round.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Milind. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so the next speaker we have Milind. Milind, your topic would be, imagine you get a chance to meet Ratan Tata someday. Imagine you get a chance to meet Ratan Tata someday. What will you do? Over to you, Toastmaster Milind.
Thank you, Table Topic Master Saurabh Agrawal. I would be really honored to meet such a great personality, Ratan Tata, who has brought Tata Motors and other Tata product as a company at the top of the world. So it will be a great honor for me to be part of that meeting. So I am meeting person face to face with him. In back of my mind, oh my God, I got to meet Ratan Tata. Wow! And I was like, thank you, sir. I'm very honored to meet you. And I'm very privileged to have a meeting with you. And back of my mind, Milind, oh yes, hey, you competitor, you never got the chance. I am getting the chance, yes. And I'm very good personality sitting in front of him saying, sir, you are a great leader in this industry. And you inspire me. One day I want to be you. And the back of my mind, I am blank. Am I going to be that person? The things, the activities daily I'm doing, sleeping morning till 11 o'clock, will I become Ratan Tata? But I have to fake it. So that would be a meeting of Milind with Ratan Tata, the actuality, the reality, and the real, which we will show fake on our face. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Milind. I like that reality which you have shown. I think every one of us will have the same expression, same reality when we get that honor to meet Mr. Ratan Tata. Thank you. Back to you, Raghu. What should we?
Yes, as we had only 4 speakers, this will be the final round. So out of 4, we'll select one. So everybody, please vote for one speaker and let us select the champion after round 1. It's 12 out of 16. So need one more vote. Okay. Okay, guys. I think I have the clear thing. Milind, you took the heart of everybody and you are the winner. So now you will compete with the person who wins the second round, the second section that we move. So I think Saurabh had some nomination for that second round, right? Ajay, do we have them in the room or did they leave?
I see DTM Ajay left. There was one more from your side, Raghu. I don't remember who was that.
I think someone was.
That's fine. If someone wants to nominate
Akshay
Hello,
nominated.
yes. Yeah, it's Akshay.
Okay, we
Toastmaster
had Akshay and Satish. Yes.
Yeah, Akshay from YMCA Goa, right? Akshay?
Yes, I'm from YMCA Goa.
Right. So we have Akshay. Any more nomination?
BHANGLE. So could you rename me as BHANGLE? Yeah, it's showing Bhavingal, so it's BHANGLE.
No problem.
My surname. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else coming up?
Satish was there from the first nominations.
Yeah, Satish was there. Yeah, add Satish.
Satish, Akshay, and
Manoranjani. Manoranjani. Are you there, Mano? I think she's not there. Anybody else coming up? We need 3 more names. Nobody's coming up. Okay, fine. So do you want to take any 3 from the last round? You are free to take.
So in total, we are going for 6 participants in this round, Raghu.
It's up to you. You can decide. We can take 5. So you have 2 names, any 3. You can choose or let them come up.
So Milind will compete against the winner of these 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Got it. So we have Akshay, we have Satish. Anto, do you like to participate once more?
No, I think it's done, right? So the round is done that I participated in. So the winner and the next round can go ahead, right? I think that's how it should be done.
Yeah, so we don't have enough participation, so we are asking
Give
people
it
to
a try again if it's not a
try.
problem.
It's okay. Wildcard entry, no problem.
Santoshi,
Can I also do this wildcard entry if it's all right?
1 minute.
Yeah.
Karthik,
So I believe there'll be a lot of wildcards that would want to enter. I'm not sure what to say at this point. I mean, I'm happy to participate, but
no problem. So let me ask others and then I'll come back to Anto. Karthik, Majority, do you want to participate?
I can give a try.
Okay, try our participate is same thing. So add Karthik
Okay.
Majati's name. And then Santoshi, Divya, do you want to participate? Santoshi, Divya. Last call, Santoshi, Divya. Do you want to participate? 1, 2,
No.
3. Okay, great. So now they have said no. You go add Abdul Rahman and Anto to the game, and then we'll move ahead with that.
Sure, Raghu, I'll do that. Just a quick time check. We have time to play one more round, right?
Yeah, we can do that. No problem.
Okay, sure. Cool then. So, guys, moving ahead, we have one more round with 5 participants. So, the winner of this round will get to compete against Toastmaster Millen, who is the winner of the last round. And
I'm sorry, add Vaishnavi too. Apologies for that. Add Vaishnavi too.
yeah, so the winner of this round get to compete against Toastmaster Millen, who had become a winner for the last round, and will decide the final winner after that. So starting this round, let's start with Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay, your topic is
Hello. Yes. Okay.
is
Am I audible?
compulsory. Yes, we can hear you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Yeah, but just second. I'm visually impaired. I'll not be able to see the card. Okay. So you have to make a sound device when the timer. Hello.
Okay, so Dhananjay, please flag.
Shall I say green, yellow, like that?
Yes. Yeah, you can do it. Yes, you can do it.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yes.
So Toastmaster Akshay, your topic is compulsory attendance really needed in schools and colleges? Is compulsory attendance really needed in schools and colleges?
Akshay, can you please start your video?
Just again. Yes. Am I visible?
We can see something in the darkness.
No, I think so. I know. I can I stop the video?
Okay.
It's a dark. Just like. Okay. Yes. Am I visible?
Yes, actually, we can see you.
Yes.
We can see you. Yeah.
Okay. So could you repeat the topic?
So the topic is compulsory attendance in schools and colleges really needed? Is compulsory attendance in schools and colleges really needed?
Yes. Roll number 1, present. Roll number 2, present. Roll number 3, absent. Yes. This is how attendance is taking. Sometimes students are bunking college. I don't know what's the reason. It's my opinion there should be attendance in schools and colleges, because if you're present every day in schools and colleges, then you will learn the new things, especially whatever taught by our teachers. And second thing,
green card.
Now it's a pandemic situation, so some of them having network issues. Sometimes students log out what to do. Nowadays, it is not compulsory whether you attend or not attend. My opinion is regular attend schools and colleges.
Yellow card.
Without attendance, you will not be able to follow any rules and regulation and whatever the teacher's discussion. What do you mean to say, Toastmaster Saurabh Agarwal, on this? Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. My opinion would be having attendance mandatory is okay, but it should not be like 80 or 90%. It should be flexible so that I can meet that criteria. So yeah, that's from my side. Moving ahead, so the next speaker we have is Toastmaster Satish. Toastmaster Satish, your topic would be open book exams. Open book exams, Toastmaster Satish.
Thank you. Hey guys, just when I was feeling sluggish as the lunch hour approaches, Saurabh's given me a topic that happens to be, I have strong feelings about it. So as I navigated my way through the Indian school system, I did not do so well in my first 10, 12 years of schooling, where I felt immense pressure on you, where people had to, memorize things and go and spit it out without a focus on trying to understand the nuances of things and understand the fundamentals behind why you're actually reading such things. Then as I made my way to the US, and you go to a United States university, and you learn of a new system where many of your class exams and even the final exams sometimes are take home. There's an open book format to it. And I felt that my ability to make education more interactive and learning more fruitful was much better with an open book system. So I'm a big advocate for that. I don't see how memorizing 50 pages from a textbook is actually useful when you're not able to practically relate to it or use it in a practical manner. And I think there needs to be a very from a government level, I think there needs to be intervention in the Indian education system where we really overthrow these old habits that we picked up and change our syllabuses and our exam system and avoid putting pressure on students. Let's just make this a more interactive way of learning. So that's why if you look at how we picked up these habits, this is all from the British time, I think, where they didn't find a better way of trying to differentiate one candidate from the thousands of others in India compared to if you read through history, India came from a much better way of education system, the Gurukul system and the old universities. There was more emphasis on practical learning than having to go to an exam and sit down and write answers to major questions and answers and things like that. So I am a firm believer that an open book system will do just as well as long as you focus on the right fundamentals and focus on the importance of why we're actually learning something. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satish. I couldn't agree more on that. I think the education system should test on the logical and analytical skills of the students rather than the memory student has. So definitely we should look for that change in the future. Moving ahead, we have Toastmaster Karthik. So Toastmaster Karthik, your topic for today is, should the children be allowed to use mobile phones? Should the children be allowed to use mobile phone? Toastmaster Karthik.
Mommy, I don't want to eat food, mommy. Daddy, I don't want to eat food. Mommy, I don't want to go to school. Okay, Nana, take this phone, see videos, see rhymes, and you enjoy, you learn. Mommy, I don't want to study. Mommy, I don't want to go to school. Okay, Nana, go. Take this, see this video, learn ABCDs. Do you think, is this the right way to educate your children? Another day, I've seen one person teaching devotional songs to kids on with videos, playing a video. And now, because of this pandemic, even we are having darsans on through mobiles, e-darsan and all. Of course, when it comes to children, when you're showing all this animated kind of a thing and all, might be just stop crying at now, and they might be attracted to the thing. But do you know how the level of connection they are missing with their family? Might be they are okay at that particular 1-2 minutes, but the real love and all will be missing. If you go to our childhood, if you are crying when you are not eating food, our mom used to take us out and roam whole colony and make us to eat somehow, saying, see, a ghost will be coming if you won't eat a black, see the dog and all. In that way, we will be analyzing the things. In that way, of course, though the child is eating, but he will be able to imagine the things. There is a kind of imagination and do it things. But when you see in the mobile, the cartoons and all are very fictitious, like Superman and all kind of a thing. But imagine if you saw Superman and afterwards, after when he comes to 5 or 6 years, he will be telling, "Mom, I'll jump from a building, and while I'm falling down, Superman will come and save me." So tell me, Saurabhji, is this right to make kids to see mobile phones or not? Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. If I am right this time, you are still a bachelor.
Yes.
Okay, you won't understand it right now. It will come in the future, but kids these days have become more advanced than what we were in our old days. So let's wait for that time, and I'll speak to you once again on this topic. Okay, so moving ahead, next speaker we have Toastmaster Abdul. So Toastmaster Abdul, your topic is browsing at workplace affects productivity. Browsing at workplace affects productivity. Toastmaster Abdul.
Good evening once again, everybody. Browsing at workplace affects productivity. My apologies, Table Topics Master, but I tend to disagree with this statement. Today, we have tools to measure the performance of each and every employee. As long as the employee is able to deliver his targets, if he is able to meet the deadlines, I believe browsing should be allowed. As per International Labour Organization, ILO, there is roughly about 15% personal time allowance for each and every employee around the world. Hence, if an employee is spending some time browsing his emails or other social media, probably in WhatsApp from his family, or his other official commitments, then I believe it's perfectly fine as long as it is not, affecting his work. Over to you, Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul. I am sure your employees will be really happy with this policy if you don't disallow browsing in workplace. So yeah. Moving ahead, we have speaker Toastmaster Rahman. Toastmaster Rahman, your topic is soft skills matter more than technical skills. Soft skills matter more than technical skills. Do you agree or disagree?
Who is Rahman?
Oh, sorry. Okay, it was Abdul Rahman together. Sorry. Then we have the last speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi. I'll change the topic. So Toastmaster Vaishnavi, your topic is Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Julia Roberts have something in common. All three of them met their spouse at work. Would you go for a workplace relationship? Yes or no?
Can you repeat the topic? It's way too complicated. Repeat it.
So Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Julia Roberts have something in common. All three of them met their spouses at work. Would you go for a workplace relationship as well? Yes or no? Would you go for a workplace relationship? That means would you try to find your spouse in the workplace?
This is something that is like my physics class. I'm not understanding anything, but as I took up a table topic, I should be speaking on spur of the moment. So let me go ahead. Firstly, the whole spouse thing is very much new to me because I'm in graduation. I'm not yet married, and meeting spouse in an office space, in a workplace, I don't think that's a nice thing, because I mean, it might be a nice thing, but I really don't think it's a nice thing, because in workplace, I've seen people, I've never really been to an office, but I've seen people, showcasing extreme professionalism. And then like how will it be if you, completely be professional and then you go home and you be like all cozy, cute? I don't think that that change would be nice. So meet your spouse in some cafe, like you will be anyways having home, meet in some cafe, take out on a date. And I always heard, like, my seniors who are in job right now, they always tell me, enjoy your college, because once your college is over, you're ruined once you get a job. So with this I assume that boss and employee relationship is something not so, not all, not so nice. So yeah, there might be some really cool bosses like you all, but that's not true in every case. No, I don't think spouses should be meeting in workplace. They should be, meeting meeting in some rather cute setup. With this, I would like to hand over the stage back to the table topic master, who gave me this topic, which was literally like my physics class.
So what happens, Vaishnavi, when your spouse is your colleague?
Now chemistry lecture came in.
This is something I never thought of, but I would apply for a transfer. Because you face the same, like you see the same face in office, then you come home to the same face. What? You need some change in your life. This is not nice. And I want to get into defense, where there is not you'll get transfers every 2 years, so your spouse will be somewhere, you will be somewhere. That's nice.
Okay. Toastmaster Vaishnavi, I'll reveal one secret over here if you don't know. So our distinguished Toastmaster Raghu and Toastmaster Kalpana, they are spouses. They work together in the same company. They are in the same Toastmaster club. They spend time together in the same house. So yes, that is a secret I wanted to reveal. And the reason why I gave you this topic was I wanted to give you this opportunity to think about it before joining the job in future, so that you are well prepared, you are ready, what decision you have to make at that point in time. So yeah.
I don't know who is the boss among you both, but I already told you that there is an exception. You guys seem to be cooler bosses. But if you get some boss like Ustad in my NCC, then you will definitely apply for a transfer.
Okay, great. So next, last speaker is Anto John Saurabh.
Anto or Puneet? Like, sorry, I am confused now. Anto
and Puneet.
Okay, I'm running out of topic, Raghu. You're making my task difficult. Okay.
Just 2 more and 3 more actually. Just these 2 and then 1, the last topic.
Okay.
No, I want you just to halt here. Just as this is getting interesting, we did extend. So I want to raise a motion to extend the meeting by 15 minutes. Can somebody second it?
Yeah, I second that.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so our next speaker is Toastmaster Anto, again coming in this round. So Toastmaster Anto, your topic would be what leadership skills did we learn from movie Bahubali? What leadership skills did we learn from movie Bahubali? Toastmaster Anto.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh, for Googling that excellent topic for me. What leadership skills did you learn from Bahubali? Well, I can speak for myself. I learned no leadership skills because I have not watched the movie Bahubali. So, but to talk about any movie and to give you in a nutshell about what I probably think of Bahubali, and this might be totally wrong, right? So, one interesting thing that I definitely understand, I saw the trailer, right? So, one thing is that reach for the stars. I can see the star of the cast. He steps onto an elephant and then jumps really, really high. How many of you have actually jumped that high, right? So you as a leader, you have to set an example for the rest of your people. So for him, the hero, the protagonist of the movie, sets an example to all his warriors in the movie that you have to go the extra mile. You have to be heroic. You have to do your best. This is, in a nutshell, probably one of the things that I noticed over there. B, size matters, right? I don't know, you've got a huge army, grandiose matters. Like Sun Tzu says, crush the enemy when you entirely know that you can crush this enemy. But I think if you ask me, what did I learn from Bahubali? Pretty much nothing. Bahubali it's a great title. I haven't watched 1 and 2. I realize this table topic has definitely made me need to watch the movie Bahubali, and probably I will let you know what I learned from Bahubali. Looking at the different, I think there are part 1 and part 2, so that's going to take a bit of time. Give me at least 2 weeks, and I will get back to you, tell you exact succinct lessons that I learned from Bahubali. The trailer did not reveal much, but Saurabh, for your sake, I would say, remember, think big. Bahubali is, big. Think big, and that's one of the leadership skills that I feel from a very minor observation that I learned from Bahubali. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anto. I believe you don't need to watch a movie for those leadership skills. You are already a born leader. You have your own skills. So thank you for that. And definitely after watching the movie, we'll have that chit chat and conversation to discuss what extra leadership skills you can learn from that movie. Moving ahead, so we have our last speaker for this round, Toastmaster Puneet. Toastmaster Puneet, your topic would be breakups are startups. Breakups are startups. Toastmaster Puneet.
One of my favorite poets, Rumi, once said, that allow your heart to be broken again and again. And that's when your heart opens up. Hello, everyone. Breakups are startup. No, I haven't experienced breakup on a relationship level because I'm a mechanical engineer and there are 0 girls in our class. And although I do have experience of certain friends of mine who were in relationships, who got broken up, who become philosophers of their life after being drunk, after being intoxicated with alcohol. But breakup, leaving relationship aside, is actually necessary part in our own life. Because I vividly remember breakup can actually act as a way to make a strong comeback. Because I remember when I was, probably I would call it, I experienced midlife career crisis extremely earlier in my life. It's not midlife, by the way, it's quarter life crisis. Because I did not know what I was doing with my organization. I had a great package, amazing job, but undoubtedly there will always be this worry in our life, isn't it? That, okay, we have good salary, we have good team, we have good boss, but is this what my purpose of life is? And those kind of questions where I was not able to answer set me in a path of stagnation. So literally, I had a breakup. Now, during that time, there's one good thing which happened with me, that I had amazing boss out there who was very understanding and who felt that I would be better equipped to be involved in an R&D. So that breakup was actually a startup to transform myself from a customer care division into a pure hardcore R&D. Friends, let me restate the beautiful quote by Rumi, who said that allow your heart to be broken again and again, and that's when your heart opens up. I know failures is difficult to digest. I don't like failures, but it's only when we experience failures is when our heart truly opens up. And when your heart truly opens up, you have an amazing content to speak for this beautiful table topic. So yes, breakups are startups. Fail miserably, break miserably, so that you can start amazingly.
Timer, can you please tell us if there are any disqualification on time?
Yes, actually, Satish has got disqualified. He took 2 minutes 52 seconds.
Okay. Others are
All others
good on
are
time?
qualified.
Okay, great. So we are Akshay, Majay, Majeti, Karthik, Abdul, Vaishnavi, Anto, Puneet. I'm launching poll. In the interest of time, please take only 30 seconds to complete the voting.
Meanwhile, I'll just like to say one thing to Toastmaster Puneet. Toastmaster Puneet, I can understand the pain of a mechanical engineer, and we have a mechanical engineer graduate today in our meeting. So I I hope she will understand that pain and she'll get back with some experience. Okay. So
Dhananjay, can you send me your vote? I have a tie. Okay, great. So the tie is broken by Dhananjay. So now the competition is between Akshay and Milind. I can't hear you, Saurabh. I thought you.
yeah, sorry for that. I was speaking on mute. So, ladies and gentlemen, please wake up from your sluggishness and be ready for the finale of today's impromptu league between Mr. Toastmaster Milind and Toastmaster Akshay. So let's start the finale with the topic for Toastmaster Milind. Milind, your topic for the finale round is controversy as a marketing strategy. Controversy as a marketing strategy. What's your opinion on that?
Thank you, table topic, Saurabh. I have no clue about it. I
So
stopped.
I'll give
Hello.
you an example. So recently we saw that ad from Cred where Rahul Dravid was there. It created a lot of controversy because Rahul Dravid is generally a cool, calm, patient guy, but in the ad he was shown very aggressive. He was shown very dominating. So that can be taken as a reference.
Thank you for the example, Saurabh. I was about to say that since the pandemic started, I stopped watching news. So I don't want to be the negative part of it. And controversies generally brings up the negativity more into the world. So and the example which you take, I thought I like that ad very much. I don't know how much it benefited the Cred as in a company to gain out of it, but showing Rahul Dravid opposite to his nature, it was an hilarious advertisement I have ever seen. And I like that ad. I don't know whether it had the controversies or not, but it definitely must have impacted the fans very much. They must be laughing out on their chairs and at their homes, and laughing on what they say, raffle they were doing in their homes. But I don't think that was any controversy was there. But I think a lot of controversies are ignited in the market with the perspective of getting the TRPs. How this the serials they say, right? They get the TRPs due to the controversies, and that's all are fixed things, which I don't believe in, because these are more fake things. And I'm more a natural person, as you must have seen in my previous speech. So I'm more natural, so natural come out. So I don't want to fake things at front. If you want to gain something out of it, show your talent, your skill up front, what you are, be transparent what you are, and not fake things just to gain some TRPs and the points in the market. So controversy, I think controversies are more of fixed thing, like a match fixing thing, uh, just to fake people to in front of the people, in front of eyes, and public is not fool. So I think controversy is not good for getting the points, but things happens. So that's how the advertisement market has become, marketing market has become nowadays. Over to you, table topic master Saurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Milind, for that enlightenment. Moving ahead, the next speaker and the final speech for today, final table topic for today, is for Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay, your topic is coronavirus is a conspiracy, yes or no? Coronavirus is a conspiracy, yes or no, Toastmaster Akshay?
What is that? Please, can you repeat the? Would you explain in a bit so that I can make up? Conspiracy, right? Means conspiracy means it's good or bad, right? It is.
No. So conspiracy means something which is debatable. For example, people say coronavirus is natural. People say coronavirus is man-made. It's made in the lab. So what's your opinion on that?
2020 was the year, is one of the disgustful year for all of us. March 25th, 2020, we had first day of the lockdown where our Prime Minister announced. Some people said because of the demolition of the Babri Masjid, this had happened. Some says corona, which is literally means crown-shaped virus. And many people are saying it's born in Wuhan, China. I would say it is not a man-made virus.
Green.
Because in 1947, we have plague disease. Same way, this is also a normal disease which came from nature, not from man-made. I'd like to give one suggestion. Don't think coronavirus is a man-made virus. It is a natural virus, and we hope this virus will go someday the other, and we will become free from this normal coronavirus. What do you mean to say, Toastmaster Saurabh Agarwal, on this? Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. My only thought would be let this coronavirus go away as soon as possible. And since this was the last topic for today, I deliberately chose this topic so that I wanted to create some kind of awareness as well, that go and vaccinate yourself if you have not done so, because that is what is required. Does not matter it is man-made, it is natural, or whatever it is. The only defense we have right now is the vaccination. So please go ahead and create that awareness in your family, in your neighborhood, as well, so that we are protected from this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saurabh. So can we quickly jump to general evaluation section while the voting is still going on? We need 3 more votes to go.
Thank you, DTM Raghu. I would like to call upon the evaluator for today, Toastmaster Santoshi, to please provide evaluation for Satish's speech. Can you check
Thank
your
you,
audio?
Toastmaster.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I clearly? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today, I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Satish for his icebreaker. Firstly, heartfelt congratulations on completing your first project. What a wonderful icebreaker. You told us about yourself as well as you made us feel warm and welcome into your life. Today, I'm going to follow the CRC method for the evaluation. Commendations, recommendations, and a challenge. Coming to commendations, the first thing which was so amazing was you grabbed the attention of the audience with your strong voice. And the way you expressed your gratitude to be a part of this wonderful platform, it was very impressive. Generally, we do not expect a very powerful speech for an icebreaker, but honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great speech. Having so much of power, it doesn't seem like an icebreaker. It was well organized and a perfect speech. You used a maze of transitions to talk about the positions of your life, and you're able to allow the audience to understand what you are saying. And the conclusion, you have added a quote like, life is a play, it's not a length. Life is a play, it's not the length. Which showed all your transitions, ups and downs, which you mentioned in the speech. Bravo. Ladies and gentlemen, please note this key message is perfectly in line with the rest of the content. It's the most important thing you want to do when you write a speech. Coming to commendations, and here is something which I did my best to find what could be better, being better. It can be your eye contact and the body language, which should be synced with the speech. And what I heard was you're maintaining the same voice throughout the speech. It can be better if you added some voice modulations. And you mentioned you had many emotions and experiences from joy, frenzy, and deep disappointment to prouder accomplishments. If you would have mentioned or added some story, it would have been much better. As you mentioned, you have taken a new challenge of learning new skills. So I also would like to give a challenge for your next project to work on the delivery plans, like eye contact, body language, and the voice modulation. Overall, it was an amazing speech. Your confidence was mind-blowing. You mentioned a line which was honored that you went to America to transform yourself, but your heart is always in India. I really loved it. All the very best for your next projects. Hope you rock them too. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santoshi. We will now go for the track team report. I would like to call upon Timer Dhananjay to give out this timing report for the prepared speech and also the evaluation.
Yeah.
We can.
Yes. Thank you, General Evaluator Kalpana. So today we have only one speech, that is icebreaker speech by Mr. Satish Madiraju. So he took 4 minutes 6 seconds and he's qualified for that. And when it comes to table topics, everybody is qualified in the round 1, and round 2 also everybody is qualified in round 2. And when it comes to next round, like round 3, except Toastmaster Satish Madiraju, remaining people are qualified. And in the final round also both speakers are qualified. And when it comes to evaluation session, the evaluator has taken 2 minutes 50 seconds and she is also qualified. And thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dhananjay, for the crisp report. I would like to call upon Suresh to please present the counter report.
Thank you, Kalpana. Today is only one speech, that is Satish. I could not find any flaws in the icebreaker speech, and as well Santoshi also. The both speeches were very good. And coming to impromptu, it is really amazing impromptu session for entire 2 hours, and everyone has done a fantastic job. No one went through the sluggish way. All went through very energetic and given very wonderful speeches. Coming to few, when given impromptu, you might have had some issues with the speaking. I noted down few of the things in this my counter role. First of all, Anto. Anto used multiple times, and Vaishnavi one time and one short pass. Abdul one short pass and a couple of times and Surabhi's speech was flawless. I could not find any. And Mingin is a one short pass. And Puneet, I couldn't find anything. And Ashraf a couple of times. Pratima one time and one short pass. TTM Saurabh, a table topic master. Saurabh has multiple types of And Satish, when he gave his impromptu speech, he used multiple times. And and the word used a couple of times. And Karthik used a couple of times, and Abdul only one short pass. With this, I'm handing over my report to Kalpana. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh. We will now go to the Wordmaster Grammarian for today, Toastmaster Pramila, for the report.
Thank you, General Level Kalpana. Quotes that I found is life is like a plate, not a lunch, and your time is limited. Quotations used by our Toastmasters that I found, and the word of the day, sluggish, is used by Toastmaster Saurabh, Vaishnavi, and Suresh Kotapalli. Good words that I found is used by our Toastmasters are kudos, embrace, perineum, place, window, spouse, think, break, conspiracy. These are the words that I found. So many unique words used by our Toastmasters, table topic masters today. I couldn't find, I couldn't able to note that, and I couldn't able to find any incorrect words. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Pramila. So we'll now go with our general evaluator reports. I'll try to keep it short with considering the time. So I'll say that the meeting was very good. We started on time and all the role players check was done. Kudos to that job. The tag team have started their talking about their roles and responsibilities. I would like to mention that all tag team members, you can also say that you will come back at the end and you will be giving your report. And at the end, when we are giving the report, as we are playing that role, we can add some more points where we can avoid, or how we can be timely if it is timer or if it is our counter. What are the ways wherein we can control our filler words? Or if it is Wordmaster Grammarian, how we can accommodate the word of the day or the idiom of the day. These are some of the items which we can focus and we can give, because apart from report, this will be something and value addition done to our role. And if we have to talk something which can be improved for our next meeting, there are two things which I have noted down. One, we can keep our videos on so that the meeting is more interactive as it is virtual platform. A person who is speaking will get encouraged when we see that it's not a blank screen, but some person is there, and that would be really good. I also observed that few of the times we have been using TTM, TMOD or PM. We should not use that as per the TI guidelines. We should call Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster, or Distinguished Toastmaster, or we have to call that role. Let it be table topic master or anything. So this is one of the suggestions which I would like to give. But otherwise, overall, to summarize, It was an excellent meeting. I was initially slugged out seeing there was, my heart sank when I saw the participants were not there. But however, the day went on, TMOD and TTM both have ensured that it was going to be flawless and we all enjoyed thoroughly. Let it be the Sergeant at Arms speech or Anto's speech or guest speech, every speech had its own. It was really difficult for me to make a choice and say that this speech is going to win. I would say everybody is winner and have done an excellent attempt to all of them. With this, I would like to pass the control back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kalpana. That was a crisp and quick, same time covering everything. Thank you very much for that. So now, time to announce the winners. So it is luck or unluck, whatever you say. It's tie between the two of them. People love both Toastmaster Milind and Akshay, both. So I will, I will share the certificate offline. You have to pardon me for not preparing the certificate here. I will share it offline for both of you. Thank you very much for participating and then winning the competition.
That's fine, DTM Raghu. If certificate is not there, my name coming itself is a great achievement for me. I've never got my name in any list, whether it's school, college, or anywhere. At least somewhere
Now,
I'm getting.
is this the front one
Hello.
or is it the
No
background million?
We'll take it off.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
If I'm telling something unfavorable for me, then it's the real me.
Okay. Just in the interest of time.
Actually, yes. Hello.
1 minute.
I would like to go share small things here. Yes.
Akshay, 1 minute.
Toastmaster Akshay.
I'm sorry, Akshay. One minute. Let President adjourn the meeting and then we'll continue from there. Just in the interest of time, because we announced to complete by 9:15. So let's do it. Just give us.
So, yeah, thank you so much for giving it. Anyhow, we have the results right away and we haven't had the tag team voting was not done. Can you please launch the poll for tag team DTM Raghu?
Let us leave everybody is a winner. I'll give certificate to all because everybody did a great job today. So everybody
Thank you
is a winner.
so
All
much
the
for
role
that.
players.
Thank you so much. So with that, we will come to end of our meeting and we can have feedback continued after this. Officially, I close the meeting, but now I request Toastmaster Akshay to please give your feedback and convey whatever you wanted to say.
Thank you.
I never thought that I will going to attend the meeting of